All right. Well, welcome everyone. We are super excited to be launching Electrify Cambridge. We're really excited to see all of you joining tonight. Thanks for joining us on this Wednesday evening. It's been really exciting to see this program come together, and we're very excited to to kick it off, to have all of you here. So with that, let's actually see who's in the room today. See our friendly Cambridge neighbors. Could we share the poll for a second? Yeah, so it looks like we have a good mix of people living in single family homes in Cambridge, and triple deckers or Cambridge classic buildings in 2 to 4 units, larger multifamily buildings as well, which is of course a big part of our city. And then other folks who are outside of Cambridge, but thanks for dropping by. We have a pretty good mix of electric technologies that folks are interested in here, from solar to heat pump water heaters, heating and cooling, electric ovens and induction cooking, as well as electrical upgrades in general. And then it looks like a lot of people heard about this through a newsletter and email. Great to hear, as well as some social media and word of mouth. Let's stop sharing those results. Okay. Let's jump to the next slide, please. Welcome from the team here at the City of Cambridge. My name is Nikhil Nadkarni. I'm an energy project planner. I'm joined by Brad Pillen, who's an energy and engagement associate planner, and Thomas O'Neill, a sustainability planner. We're all on the climate team at the City of Cambridge Community Development Department. We're at 344 Broadway. I'm sure many of you know the building. Thanks so much for joining us, and you'll hear from some other folks in just a few minutes. This meeting is being recorded. I'll also note a Zoom tip here for folks who are playing around with the different controls. You can click between view speaker and view gallery, so you can go to the gallery to see all of our friendly Cambridge neighbors and see their lovely faces. Next slide, please. So we'll be doing questions and answers, and leaving plenty of time to answer your questions at the end of the presentation. And the way to submit that will be through the Q&A at the bottom of your screen. I'll just mention that if you have a question that's specific to a project that you're pursuing, or you're asking about a need or a circumstance that's specific to your home or your building, sign up for a consultation, right? That's kind of the goal of getting people signed up. You can go to cambridgema.gov/electrify, and there's Calendly links, so you can pick a time that's convenient for you. The consultation can walk you through those specific project goals and needs. And that way, the questions that we walk through tonight can be a little bit more of common interest and a little bit more thematic. Next slide, please. Yeah, so as I mentioned, we're really excited to launch Electrify Cambridge, and for me, it's been really exciting to see this program come together. I just wanted to take a second to share some of the reasons why we're creating this program and why we're excited about this. The first is there's a lot of all electric technologies out there, right? There's induction cooking. You're hearing about EV charging. You're hearing about solar. Heat pumps. We're really interested in supporting residents with this, the full suite of all electric technologies, and kind of helping them, helping folks navigate all of these different technologies that you hear about in different solutions. And really being able to support that full range of options out there. We want to make sure we can help our residents make their homes more healthy, more comfortable. I don't need to tell any of you about how our summers are getting hotter and hotter. So adding cooling through the use of heat pumps is, an important comfort benefit as well as a health benefit. And technologies like induction cooking can make our kitchens and homes cooler as well. There's also a lot of scientific research showing the indoor air quality benefits of moving away from fossil fuels to all electric technologies, especially for cooking and outdoor air quality from some of our other equipment. We want to make these upgrades easier. There's a lot to navigate in terms of the technologies, the product options, finding a vetted installer, and we really want to be able to provide independent guidance to our residents to help navigate this. I'll take a moment to underscore that all of the consultations are funded and made possible by funding from the City of Cambridge. So when you're working with a Electrify Cambridge specialist, you can be assured that they are providing independent guidance that's unbiased. So even if you're working with them to compare quotes that you've received from installers, they're providing independent guidance, right? As part of the city's program. And finally, the City of Cambridge is, Cambridge is, we're committed to getting to zero greenhouse gas emissions by mid-century. The community developed a net zero action plan several years ago, and a community-led process has updated it about 2 years ago. And one of the key actions in that plan is really creating programs that can support the transition away from fossil fuels to electric technologies, and helping our residents, helping our building owners, and helping our property managers move away from fossil fuels is going to be a big part of how we get to our climate goals that we all need to work together to reach. I will turn it over to my colleague Brad here to speak to this slide.
Great, thanks, Nikhil. So just to introduce myself, my name is Brad Pillen. I'm an energy engagement planner with the City of Cambridge. So Electrify Cambridge is one of many programs available through the Cambridge Energy Alliance, which works to help people in Cambridge become more energy efficient and increase access to renewable energy. There's a few other programs that fall under the Cambridge Energy Alliance umbrella that I briefly want to touch on and make sure you're aware of. So the first is the Utility Bill Helpline. This helps you learn to read and understand your electricity bill, get rid of third-party energy suppliers, and access programs to reduce your utility costs. This phone number is also staffed by our partners at All in Energy, and is the same number that you also will is available to call and ask questions about Electrify Cambridge. The Cambridge Community Electricity Program, it's a program you're already likely enrolled in and offers you the lowest electricity price available. It's the default option for all electricity accounts in Cambridge, so you're already enrolled unless you've chosen to opt out at some point. If you want to double check, you can look at your electric bill. If the supplier is listed as Cambridge Com Elect Direct Energy, then you're enrolled. And just to let you know, that's short for Cambridge Community Electricity Direct Energy is the supplier, but it'll actually appear on your bill as Cambridge Com Elect Direct Energy. So if you see that as your supplier on your bill, then you are already enrolled in this program. Community solar allows you to buy into a membership to an off-site solar project. You then receive a credit that will lower the supply charge on your electricity bill. This is a great option if you want to support solar but don't have the space to install solar equipment on your property, and this is also available to renters. No-cost energy assessments are available to renters, owners, and landlords in homes or buildings with up to 4 units and help you identify opportunities to save energy. Buildings with 5 or more units fall under the multifamily category and need to go through the process as an entire building. And then finally, Cambridge Black Power Pilot. This is a new pilot program announced this year that works with multifamily buildings to help them decarbonize. And what's unique about this program is a way that they offer a financing mechanism to help your building afford these upgrades. We'll talk more about this program later in the presentation as well. So these are all programs that complement Electrify Cambridge, and I encourage you to visit cambridgeenergyalliance.org to learn more. Next slide, please. Great, and so this program, Electrify Cambridge, is made possible through the help of partners from other organizations. New Ecology and Abode Energy Management are both technical experts that you'll work with on your home electrification journey. Justin Bates from Abode is with us tonight and will be presenting shortly. Block Power is also an important partner in this program, and you may work with them if you live in a multifamily building and are looking for assistance with financing electrification projects. And finally, All In Energy is a local nonprofit that's supporting outreach and intake for this program. You might see them out at public events, or you might speak with someone from All In Energy on the phone. Brian Stillwell and Natalie Reeder are from All In Energy, and they are both here with us tonight. And with that, I'm going to pass it to Justin Bates from Abode Energy Management.
Brilliant. Thanks, Brad and Nikhil. Appreciate the introduction there. Hi, everyone. My name is Justin Bates. I work for Abode Energy Management, and truthfully, we are very excited to be here partnering with the City of Cambridge, with our other implementation partners, to help you all electrify your home. So I'll pause for a brief moment. I know that we have the URL and QR code up on your screens right now if you want to take a moment to navigate to the site and explore the full suite of options that you all have open to you. But if I move too quickly, if you don't have a chance to get it down, don't worry, it will pop up again and again and again tonight, and hopefully on all your social medias and Electrify newsletters, whatever it might be. It'll be spattered across your lives, hopefully. So we are excited to offer a very robust program, right? Whether you live in a single family home, a triple decker, a larger multifamily building, and most everything in between, we have a pathway that you'll be able to follow and that you'll be able to utilize, right? So for residents with 1 to 4 units in their building, you'll be going through my company, Abode Energy Management. If you're in a building that has more than 5 units, which based on the poll, it's quite a few people out there, you'll be able to go down one of the 2 pathways of our partners, New Ecology, or tap into that exciting pilot project that both Nikhil and Brad mentioned, the Block Power, right? Partnered with the City of Cambridge there. So just as a quick background of our company, so you know who you're working with, and hopefully throughout this process, when you are meeting with electrification specialists, you'll get to know us pretty well. We'll be there for you all. You'll have our contact information. You'll maybe know our pets' names if they're wandering across the screen, right? We're here as you journey through this electrification project. The Abode team has decades of collective experience. We support energy efficiency measures. We provide kind of a comprehensive consultative approach to this experience, right? We have supported thousands of families who have navigated this efficiency and electrification journey. So we're coming from, again, a place of deep experience. New Ecology has a long history of improving health, energy, and resiliency outcomes in existing buildings. So these larger multifamily buildings, again, of which there are quite a few in Cambridge, right? And then they offer us similar service to Abode, right? They are providing that assistance, that guidance, but instead of working with maybe individual homeowners or smaller units owners, they're working with property managers and building managers and people involved in the decision making for these larger building electrification projects. And again, you see Block Power on your screen there, and we will talk about this a little later on, but I'll just reiterate that this is an exciting partnership with the City of Cambridge that blasts past one of the hurdles that multifamily buildings sometimes run into, which is the financing piece. So we'll definitely talk about that a little later on there. So what is Electrify Cambridge? We are offering through this program access to a plethora of resources aimed at electrifying your home or building. If you have navigated to the Electrify Cambridge website, you'll see that we have a few different offerings that you can tap into, right? A pretty robust list of electrified tech resources. And we'll go through some of those in a little bit more depth later on. There's options to schedule consultations with electrification experts, whether it be through Abode or New Ecology. We're also maintaining a participating contractor list for contractors who have experience in electrifying homes and building systems. So we are again, through this program, hoping to offer you a pretty not on a silver platter, because you will have to do some work, but we're trying to make it as shiny as possible and as easy to utilize as possible there too. And again, part of that is that participating contractor list, which pairs you with companies and contractors who have experience installing heat pumps or solar panels, maybe electric storage or heat pump water heaters. For those who have already begun an electrification project or in the future may need a little bit more technical support, we do offer technical, in-depth, nuanced consultations that Cambridge residents can tap into at no cost there. And I would just reiterate the consultations and technical analysis piece, because these are probably two of the most useful and rewarding services that this program offers. Our specialists, again, this can sometimes be a confusing a journey for homeowners and building owners, because there's just a constellation of different places that you can start. But our specialists will get you along the right path, will get you started on the right foot, and will get you well positioned to find success in your electrification project. So a lot of the questions we usually get is why would you use Electrify Cambridge? What are the motivations for home or building owners? What are the motivations for tapping into this resource? And the truth is that there are many. There are many different ways that people can approach home electrification. And not everyone's journey will be the same. And that's what we are prepared to address is people coming from a lot of different starting points or middle points or close to the end points. But maybe it's an existing home system or appliance is at the end of its life, right? So maybe it's your furnace or your boiler, it's getting old. Maybe it's getting to that replacement age. Maybe your central AC system or hot water heater also needs to be considered for replacement. Maybe you're approaching this with kind of an environmentalist perspective, right? And you want to lower your carbon footprint by adopting electric tech to kind of offset right, carbon emissions. Maybe we are, you like the versatile performance of these electric technologies that allow you to really create a home that is addressing your comfort needs, whether it be exact temperature, whether it be removing fossil fuel emissions from the household, or maybe you want to take advantage. I keep looking to the right over here on my screen, over here, and you all in front of me. Maybe you want to take advantage of the financial incentives that Mass Save does offer through the Mass Save program, right? That incentivizes electric home energy upgrades or energy efficiency upgrades, or again, a whole array of different technology that Mass Save has opened up to Massachusetts and the city of Cambridge. So how do you electrify your home? And this is the point that homeowners do have sometimes the most trouble with. But again, we are here to help find electric options for whether it be existing systems, old systems, or new systems that you want to put in your home. So we list some of the technologies here: heat pumps, solar panels, induction cooking. You can read the list and get the gist, but I'll spotlight a few just so that you all have that kind of context going into maybe a consultation. Right, one of the big program focus points are heat pumps, right? They've gained a lot of popularity in the last few years. Their recognition has definitely gone up. They are an electric alternative to your home's heating and cooling needs. It satisfies both heating and cooling in this one system. Typically, you'll see that there'll be an outdoor condenser similar to what an outdoor central AC unit looks like. It can be either kind of a cube shaped on the ground, or maybe a rectangular structure on legs, it looks like there. But those condensers will be attached to whether it be air handlers, which are typically located in a basement or an attic. Those are typically ducted systems, so they utilize ducts in your home to transfer air, whether it be warm or cool air throughout, depending on the season. And we also have what are called mini splits. So those are those kind of maybe images that pop into your mind when you hear heat pump. It's what's reflected on that top left corner there. Those can be put on a wall. There are new units that actually can kind of replicate the floor units. It's not a furnace. My God, I'm showing my age a little bit here. But they have floor units, they have ceiling units, ceiling cassette units. They offer a lot of variability in how they present themselves in your home. So homeowners can have that decision to say, hey, I want a wall unit, or I want a floor unit, or I want to kind of hide it in the ceiling, or I don't even want to worry about that. I want ducts flowing from room to room. Abode New Ecology, Block Power, we're here to kind of have these conversations to match your vision of the project to the reality of a system in your home there. I'll just identify a few other technologies, right? Heat pump water heaters. This is an electric alternative to maybe a fossil fuel-based water heater that's typically located in the basement. There's also a solar thermal hot water heater, which is actually harnessing the sun's energy and moving hot water through your home to satisfy, again, your home's hot water needs there. We have induction ovens, we have outside appliances, we have electric vehicles, whether it be an electric car or an electric bike. We are well positioned to offer some advice, some thoughts, some connections to contractors or incentives or rebates to make these projects make sense in your home, right? So we have started to talk about what is available to Cambridge residents, and I'll go into a little bit more depth just so you have a better understanding of this program, and that you can leave today and go home or be home and be clear on how you can use this program, right? So you can schedule, and I would recommend this as the first step, schedule a no-cost consultation tonight, tomorrow, the next day, in the future. These are no cost. These connect you with an electrification specialist who will be able to guide you on your electrification journey. Yeah, that is my key recommendation if you can take anything away from tonight. And we will post the website link again just so you have that easy and at your hands there. Finding a contractor through the participating contractor list, whether that be solar panels, whether that be heat pumps, heat pump water heaters, maybe it's battery storage. We are connecting you with contractors who have the depth of experience to put a home in your system that is sized and selected to meet your needs. And I could go off on a tangent there about sizing and selecting and making sure that the people you're working with have the best intention in mind. Just for the sake of the time of the webinar, I'll hold off, but that is definitely a theme, that sizing and selecting systems that make sense for your home is something you'll hear over and over again as you kind of go through your electrification journey. Right, so we also offer a really cool tool, let's call it, which is a quote comparison report. This is right now just for heat pumps, not for other electric technologies, but still a very useful tool to tap into, and something where if you are in the process of adopting heat pumps and you've talked to contractors, you have received proposals, this tool at no cost to you spits out a very detailed report of comparing these systems one against the other, and modeling your home conditions so that it's not just a comparison, but it's a comparison in the context of your home, which is a really useful tool as you make that ultimate decision of what system you want to go with. Accessing state and federal incentives. This can be a challenging process. We recognize this, and we are here to offer that support. And we'll talk about a report a little bit later on that details these in very explicit terms and links you to the appropriate resources. But you will also receive a report detailing home electrification, your journey, home or building electrification, excuse me, after your consultation has happened. And then another key part is just receiving ongoing help, support, guidance. You have a specific amount of time set for each resident in Cambridge, right? That you can tap into this program, and why not make the most of it, right? And really get as much information as you can, so you're preparing yourself for a home electrification journey, again, that matches your needs and that um, is lasting and is comfortable. I would say is kind of what I would emphasize there. So I'm throwing a lot at you. A lot of the program resources maybe are swirling through your head right there, and you're asking yourself, how do I keep track of this journey? So another cool part of this uh, program of Electrify Cambridge is that after your consultation, you'll receive that report detailing how to electrify your home or building over time. Because we realize it's not going to be, you're not going to sit down with a consultant, a specialist tomorrow, um, and be ready to install solar panels, a heat pump, a solar thermal. That's just not reality, right? We realize that this kind of happens over time, and these reports will give you some guidance on how to do that. We'll tell you your system's age of replacement, when you should start considering to replace your whether it be a furnace, a boiler, a fossil fuel based, excuse me, water heater. We'll also identify next steps that are uniquely um, presented to you by your electrification specialist, right? After your consultation, our specialists are typing behind their computers and writing a detailed and unique report for your home's journey, um, which will also include access to resources, whether it be more information that you want, whether it be that rebates, incentives, the money that is available to you through Massachusetts and through the US government as a whole. And then you also have access to easy access to follow-up consultations, right? So being able to get back in the door, excuse me, and tap back into your specialist there. I'll take just a quick last second here and talk about Block Power's unique offerings through the city of Cambridge, right? So you have access to Abode, which is typically for 1 to 4 unit homes, New Ecology, which is that 5+, and also Block Power, which is that multifamily option there. Uh, this is unique in this program because it offers not only um, consultative support, but also financial support, right? And again, that is the barrier that a lot of multifamily buildings run into is how to pay for it. And they offer really unique financing options that make it more attainable for a property manager or building owner. Um, so after that, I'll pass it off to my All in Energy colleagues here to kind of talk about how we can take action today.
Thanks so much, Justin, for that run through of the program. And hi, everyone. My name is Brian Stillwell, and I work with a local community organization called All in Energy that's partnering with the city to implement Electrify Cambridge. And so at this point, you've learned all about the program, what it is, how it works, and how it can help make your home healthier and more comfortable, maybe save you some money, and definitely help fight climate change. And so there's only one thing left to do, right? It's time to join together as neighbors and community members here tonight and take action to electrify Cambridge. Again, our goal is to electrify every building in Cambridge, and you're going to be key partners in helping us get there. So we know how busy life can be. So we actually wanted to carve out some time right now to help you take that first step with 2 different actions. So the first action is to sign up for that Electrify Cambridge consultation that Justin was just talking about. That's the beginning of the journey and how you get access to all these different benefits. So I just dropped a link to sign up in the chat. It'll take you to the Electrify Cambridge webpage. If you're on that webpage, you just scroll down and Justin's pulling it up for you. And you can see there are 3 little boxes and you can choose which type of consultation is the right pick for you. You can see it on the screen right there, whether you're just getting started, you have a specific project you're thinking about, or you really map out your long-term electrification journey. And so we encourage you to do that right now. Our goal is to have at least 25 people who are on the call today sign up for a consultation right now. It only takes a second to sign up. So go ahead and click the link, click onto the website, pick the consultation box that makes sense for you and get in there. And we're going to give 2 minutes for you to do that right now. And as we're waiting, because we know it takes a second for you to actually fill that out, Justin is going to play us some appropriately themed music to just help us get in the mood to electrify our homes and buildings. So we'll have that playing in the background as people are signing up. There it is. We couldn't help ourselves. The electric side is playing just for you to fill out this form right now. So we'll give you a second to do that. Nice. All right. So I know some of you might be thinking, oh my goodness, it's the end of the day. I'm not sure if I know my schedule enough to schedule, a consultation right now, but we really encourage you to just take this step. You're here right now. There's little Calendlies. You can pick which, like an appointment date that will likely work for you. And if you need to reschedule, that's totally okay. We'll work with you to find a time. So really encourage you to just go ahead and sign up right now if you're interested. This program seems like a fit for you. Once you sign up, you're going to get a pre-consultation survey that we really ask you to fill out in advance. And that's to help make sure you're paired with the right specialist and expert to support you and that they're prepared to answer your questions to the best they can. So you'll sign up, you'll get that email, you'll get some reminders before, and you'll jump on and have a great conversation with a specialist about your goals and your project like we talked about. And if you're feeling like you have some questions you want to answer, we're going to have a great question and answer, and this will obviously be waiting for you. So you can sign up anytime, but again, encourage you to just take this moment right now to go ahead and do that. Again, our goal is to get to 25 signups tonight. There are 70 plus people on the call. So I think we can do it. That's like a third of the people. And yeah, as I continue to talk here, feel free to keep filling that out during the question and answer and take your time to get your sign up done. And I can see on the back end that we are having some people sign up live right now. So thank you for signing up. We'll see where we land at the end of the night. But again, our goal is to electrify Cambridge, all the buildings, and you're really key to making that happen. So thank you so much. There's also a second action. First and foremost, sign up for your consultation. But if you're feeling energized by this program, you're really excited about the goals, and you want to make sure that everyone in the Cambridge community knows about it and has access to all these benefits, then we're asking you to help us spread the word. And I'll drop something in right now to help you do that. So yeah, we are doing our best to get the word out there, but nothing beats personalized outreach from friends and family. So you could reach out to your friend, your family member, a neighbor, or a colleague, and let them know about this, let them know about the benefits and connect them to us. And so the form I just dropped, the second link there, is just a quick survey. And if you want to be someone who goes the distance and helps us spread the word, you can just say the ways that you were interested and willing to do that. You could send an email to friends or a neighborhood listserv. You could post on social media. You might want to invite one of us to, your place of work or a group you're in or a community organization to present so we can, share this information with others. Those are all options on that form. And if you fill that out, we will send you the resources you need to do that. Some email templates, a social media graphic, or we'll get in touch about how we can come present to a group that you're a part of in Cambridge. So again, we would love for as many people to help us in this task. So if you're able to take a moment to fill out that form to let us know that how you can spread the word, we'd really appreciate that. Great. So this is happening. People are signing up. You're signing up for your consultations. You're letting us know if you can help us spread the word. And if we actually have a poll. We'd love to see kind of like the energy on the call right now before we get to the Q&A. So if we want to launch that second poll, we can see what people are, whether people signed up tonight and whether people are signed up to help spread the word. You can just let us know. So go ahead and fill that out. When you get a chance, we'll leave it up for a little while, and we can see towards the end of the call what people are doing, how many people are signing up. And we can have that up for a little bit as we transition to the Q&A until we get critical mass there. So again, focus on signing up for filling out those forms first. And then if you have some time to jump on the poll and let us know what you're willing to do, that would be so appreciated. And with that, Thank you so much. I'm going to pass it over to my colleague, Natalie, who's going to help walk us through some question and answer and a process around that. Over to you, Natalie.
Awesome. Thank you, Brian. And thank you for helping bring the energy. I'm already seeing so many folks respond to that poll saying they signed up, and I'm sure other folks are still tapping away on their phone, making sure to sign up. We are going to go ahead and turn over to a Q&A. As a reminder, this whole meeting is recorded, so if you need to hop off at any point, we will be sending out the recordings. For the Q&A, we're going to primarily use that Q&A feature that was shown at the beginning of this presentation. So if you do have questions that haven't been answered yet, we encourage you to put them in, and we'll do our best to answer ones or follow up afterwards. And of course, you also have our contact information. So if there are any questions we don't get to tonight, please feel free to reach out to us and we'll support you. Or, if it's one of those specific questions, feel free to schedule that consultation and try to get your answers then, or understand what your next steps might be. Again, thank you for all of you as you're taking action. We'll leave that pull up for a few more minutes as the rest of you have a chance to sign up if you're able. And I'm going to go ahead and start with questions. So our first question is coming from the Q&A. And the question is, do all of the offerings for these programs for larger multi-unit buildings require full building participation? That is, if a condo association doesn't want to pursue, but an individual owner does, can anything be done to support? And I'm also going to send that message in the chat so people can read it too. And I'm going to pass this one off to Justin from Abode, and I think he'll give it an answer.
Yeah, appreciate that question, Natalie. So the multifamily program is definitely designed to comprehensively address each site as a whole. So each site meaning each building as a whole, not necessarily on a unit by unit basis. And that's just to maximize kind of program efficiency, minimize program costs. Each unit's unique needs can be individually highlighted, right? So the program is typically your condo association or your building manager, your property manager will sign up for an energy audit, and they will get somebody out from the Mass Save program to typically look at the different unit types in the building. And based on that assessment, then they'll make recommendations for the entire building. So if the question is can people, let's call it residents within these larger multifamily units, can they access kind of individualized support? At this time, I would say I would try to garner a lot of support in the building and then bring that to your property manager, your building manager. I would still recommend meeting with New Ecology, who handles that multifamily pathway, because they are very well positioned to not only take your questions and answer some of your, hey, what's possible for my unit, right? If you have a decentralized heating system, if you have a centralized heating system, but they are also recording interest by your other units neighbors or building neighbors, and they will be able to see, all right, this building is actually seeing an increase in support as a unit by unit level, and they'll be able to kind of take that information and take that knowledge to a property owner and say, hey, we have reached a pretty critical mass where they're asking for action. Let's develop a comprehensive strategy to address your building's motivations, right? Your unit motivations there.
Wow, great. Thanks so much, Justin, for that question. It's always a lot to unpack, and so I'm glad we have this time to answer some of these questions, and we'll keep monitoring them if you put them in the Q&A. We're still getting great response for folks as they're able to sign up for consultation. So it sounds like they have more specific questions. So I'm glad they're getting to start taking advantage of this consultation program. My next question is also for you, Justin. And someone's interested in geothermal heating. How does this relate to heat pumps or any of the topics you've covered today?
Yeah, so an option, when we talk about heat pumps, we talk about typically air source heat pumps, which is basically it's moving hot air from either inside to out or outside to in, depending on the season, whether it be heating or cooling. Geothermal or ground source heat pumps work actually by tapping into the steady temperature nature of our Earth. Right, once you get below a certain number of feet, the temperature remains pretty constant. And some brilliant people, not myself, but some brilliant people have found a way to harness that steady temp to be able to transfer heat from either the ground to your home or the home to your ground. So I just want to give a little context there before I answered the question, right? So how does this relate to heat pumps? It works very similarly, right? You will have a indoor unit, and it can be a ducted air handler, or it can be those ductless mini splits that are located throughout your home. And it connects to a very deep hole, really, that has tubing that has um, basically transferring water and heating water and then moving it up. I would have to, it's a great question, how they're currently used in the city of Cambridge. They are widely used to regulate temperature in cities across the world. So this is definitely an option for people. There is a little bit more of an increased cost when we're talking about ground source heat pumps, just because there's the drilling, there's the moving of a lot of earth. But it's definitely an option for people considering a heat pump pathway, and something that I would recommend broaching with your electrification specialist.
Justin, that was awesome. It's great to hear about all the different types of technologies that may be covered, and that folks might be able to get more information about through these consultations. I know it can all be really complex, and even understanding all the terminology that's used gets confusing. So appreciate the description of what that means when we're talking about geothermal. Great. Well, I have another question here asking, are there any additional financial or monetary incentives through this city program, or is it only advising? And I'm going to shoot that over to you, Nikhil, from the city of Cambridge.
Sure. That sounds good. I'm happy to speak to that. Yeah, so there's another question that I saw folks have asked about, like how it's connected to Mass Save. So I'll kind of speak to both of those questions at the same time. We're at this moment where there's a tremendous number of incentives at the state and federal level. Cities aren't really so much able to create new incentive programs, but what we're seeing is that Mass Save has new incentives for various electrification technologies, heat pumps, hot water, induction cooking, I believe. And then later this year, the federal incentives through the Inflation Reduction Act, the IRA incentives, are going to be rolling out. And I think, one thing that we really want to make sure with this program is that we're helping people access all of those incentives. And that's where Electrify Cambridge specialists will be able to really help people connect to all of those. So that's kind of the core, core function when it comes to tapping into incentives of Electrify Cambridge.
Thanks, Nikhil. It's always great to hear, how many different opportunities there are to help understand pricing, and that's something I think the consultation will go into beyond the technology and the terminology, is that financing section and understanding, what you're getting into and how to make that accessible for your home and your situation. So that's great. I have another question for you, Nikhil, which is, what is the time frame for this Electrify Cambridge program?
Yeah, that's a good question. So, we're kicking it off this year, and our intention is to, really keep it going as a resource for people who want to, plan a project, implement it over time. I think one of the unique things that we're hoping to do is really help people create that electrification plan, anticipate upcoming needs, and then be there to help people implement those projects later on. So maybe you'll speak with an Electrify Cambridge specialist and say, I'm replacing my roof next year. I know I need to do that. Is that a good time for solar? That can go into that plan, and then the specialist will be there to help you out. When that time comes, right? So our intention is that this isn't sort of a one and done program. It's really there to support Cambridge residents for years to come.
Thanks for sharing, Nikhil. It's always great to know when things might be available, but I agree, taking action now is the best way to start making that plan. So if next year's the time for solar, maybe 5 years from now is the time really to start thinking about heat pumps and using that electric solar to run the heat pumps. So yeah, anyone, we really encourage you to take action now on at least getting a consultation scheduled and understanding the plan for your home, even if you're not quite ready to start installing some of this technology, because a plan is the first step. All right, Justin, I have another question for you. Someone asked, to retrofit water heat radiators or heat pump mini splits would be very difficult and expensive. How can I mitigate that?
And I think that kind of speaks to a broader question, or maybe a broader thought, is that this heat pump adoption can be an expensive process, and I want to acknowledge that absolutely, right? Anytime we're considering a heating or cooling system for our home, it's a large investment. It's one that should be taken seriously, and it's one that we should do our homework to try to find as much rebates, incentives, money that we can tap into to lessen that cost, right? So I think a key part of this that a lot of residents here will find beneficial is is how we're able to compile the information, the rebates, the incentives into one place, so that you can use that as a resource going forward. Unfortunately, these things do shift, right? With the federal tax incentives, there was actually a really useful document from Mass Save partnering with Rewiring America that came out, I believe, yesterday. And it kind of did a deep dive into how homeowners can tap into these benefits, right? And that's the power of an electrification specialist, whether it be a BODE, New Apology, is at Block Power. We'll have that access, we'll have that information to provide to you, so that you are, again, when you're considering the expensiveness of these projects, how we can lower those costs and how we can actually size a system that not only makes you comfortable, but hopefully can, right, when you're sizing a system, it can be an oversized unit, right, that is delivering too much power, has too much power for the home that it was situated in, and that can lead to some more expensive or higher costs than a homeowner is expecting, right? So that's why it's really important, again, sizing and selecting in an appropriate way that fits your unique home and its unique characteristics. So to that question, right, there's a few different ways that we like to approach it, and that we can help you to approach it as well.
Thanks, Justin. And I think it's right to acknowledge the consequences of these decisions, and why we want to make sure that everyone, as they're making these decisions, feels like they have guidance and are making the best decisions for their homes. So it's great to hear, how that your whole team at a BODE is thinking about that, and thinking about not just technology or saving energy, but also cost and how all of that works together, and also using the resources that your expert team has available to them to help advise. We have another question. It's actually a couple different questions, folks talking about their specific living situations. So one person is a trustee for a condo association with 26 total units, but varying housing types: townhouse, duplex, 4-unit building, 9-unit building. So just as complicated as walking down the streets of Cambridge. Which program would be the correct program for them?
Yeah, I think this is a great question, and it highlights the complexity of this program, is that it's difficult to navigate sometimes, because we have these situations. Maybe you are in a 4-unit townhome, but a part of a larger condo association, or you're a 4-unit, right? It varies. What I would say is that no matter which path you choose, you will end up in the right place. We have a very close relationship with both New Ecology and Block Power, so that if we sense that maybe your situation or your project warrants another organization, or whether it be abode with the 1 to 4 units, or New Ecology and Block Power with the 5+ units, we will be able to pass your project off, update the other organization of the unique needs of your home, and find you results, right? And get you results there. To that specific question, I would recommend going into the 5+ unit program there, pathway, as a good first step. But again, I want to emphasize that we are ready and prepared to meet your confusion and our confusion where it's at, and guide you on the right path.
Great, Justin. And I know you just gave a really wonderful answer, recognizing the complexity, but just there have been a couple other questions about condo boards. So I want to throw you another one just so folks can hear, maybe more answers that will help speak to their situation. So, we have someone in a 6-unit condo with 2 buildings, and they're wondering in general, how do large condo associations with different building types and sizes engage with this program? And do you work with condo boards or just individuals?
I would again emphasize the adaptability, the flexibility that we can approach these projects with, right? Like I don't want to, if we are in a 6-unit condo with 2 buildings, how do we sign up for a consultation? I would recommend in that situation, see, this is where it gets a little complex. I would recommend going to the 1 to 4 unit pathway. But if you end up in the 5+ unit pathway, you'll find your way to the correct place eventually. So my recommendation, go with your gut, whatever feels right. It's 2 buttons, not too high stakes. I recognize that it's a little high stakes there. But if you do choose one over the other, we'll be able to get you back, and we'll be able to answer the questions that you need to help you along your electrification journey.
Thanks, Justin. I know it's complex, so we're putting you on the spot here. I think we're going to take one more question. I think the flow has stopped, so we're going to take one more question, and then of course there is contact information on the screen. If you have other questions or feel like your question wasn't answered as well as it could be, please feel free to reach out to us after the webinar, and we'll continue taking questions and providing answers through the consultations as well. So the last question we had was sort of someone asked, they had a mass save audit, which is a great first step in any home journey to electrification to learn more about the home. And they had a contractor who said, referred to them, who said that installation of an all electric system in their home was not practical or cost effective, except as a secondary or additional system. Is your program, the Electrify Cambridge consultations, a way to get a second opinion on that?
I think this is possibly directed at me.
Yes.
Yes, I would. So this is an emerging technology, even though heat pumps have been around for a long time, right? We consult with people who have heat pumps for over 15, 20 years. This new technology that is in these heat pumps are sometimes misunderstood, right? Because in the past, they weren't able to satisfy temperatures down to 5 degrees to negative 15 degrees, right? Temperatures that Cambridge gets down to. But today, the reality is that manufacturers have put out systems that are well equipped to maintain heating capacity to very low temperatures, right? And that's sometimes a misunderstanding that is still within the industry, is that these heat pumps can't satisfy your home's heating load throughout the entirety of the winter. Just with a furnace or a boiler, as the temperatures drop, the system's efficiency drops, right? And again, that's either fossil fuels or that's heat pumps. With heat pumps, right, we are seeing the emergence of a technology that is recognizing that kind of drawback in approaching it. And I don't want to name any specific manufacturers, but there are manufacturers out there and systems that a participating contractor list HVAC contractor will be able to tell you, hey, this is going to do a really good job heating your home at a low temperature. So if you hear that maybe an electric system isn't right for your home, I would get a second opinion personally. And I know I'm talking a little bit here, but we can also meet you where you're at and do what's kind of called a dual fuel system, right? That's where if you are very uncomfortable removing your existing fossil fuel based system, we at Abode believe redundancy is okay, right? So we can have an existing system, existing fossil fuel system that then we install a heat pump at. Not me, not Abode, we, but your contractor, obviously. But they will be able to what's called switch over at a set temperature, and you can install what are called integrated controls into your home. And these integrated controls basically allow your existing fossil fuel system and this heat pump to communicate to one another to say, hey, I don't know how they speak, but hey, capacity is rearing down here. Let's kick that back on so that we can meet the home's heating load, and they are able to satisfy your home's heating load. But if you are trying to go for that all electric option, it is still possible. It is. We see this every day with homeowners, with building owners, installing heat pumps, adopting heat pumps, and them working very well to satisfy your comfort needs.
Great, thanks, Justin. Appreciate the answer, and we appreciate all of you for submitting questions. And hopefully some of these answers have been helpful to you. I'm going to go ahead and pass it to Nikhil to close us out as we are at 7:31. So over to you, Nikhil.
Yeah, thanks, Natalie, and thanks to the Abode folks, the city folks, the All In folks for taking us through the launch event this evening. I want to thank everyone here for joining this evening. We're thrilled to have everyone asking these questions and signing up for consultations. The poll tells me that we reached our goal tonight of having 25 people sign up for consultations. And I know many of you are thinking about doing it as soon as the webinar wraps up. So we encourage you to go to cambridgema.gov/electrified to get started. And if you feel like, it'd be easier to give us a call, the number's on the screen to, give us a call, and the All In Energy folks will help you schedule the consultation, with the folks that you need to talk to. Once again, thanks everyone for joining us. We're really excited to have you participate, ask these questions, and join us in electrifying Cambridge. So with that, thank you and have a good evening.